Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Wednesday morning. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as seasoned. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Wednesday morning, guys. So I want to speak to you guys about a couple of different things. Let's start with the shift. Okay, I'm going to start with like the higher ups. I know I've spoke about this recently, but God keeps bringing it back to me. But when I say higher up, right, that's not like in our terms because we don't even care about that nonsense. But I'm speaking about like these people, quote unquote, in power of Hollywood, of the music industry, of this, that, and the third, right? These major folks who are literally oppressing people under them. A lot of this stuff we don't see with our natural eye because it goes on behind that scene. Um, but you'll notice that a lot of people are now coming out and speaking about certain things. That can be Britney Spears just recently spoke about something that can, well, we can go on and on and on and on. But you'll start to see a lot of public figures and celebrities are now starting to speak out against things that has been going on in that industry for 20, 30, 40 years. We've been having things kind of leak and trickle down, but you will start to see an increase. And it's going to literally be a shift. There's going to be a major fall when it comes down to people in quote unquote power. So the shift is going to be shifted. So the people who've been doing the right thing, right? The right thing for a long time, and you just felt like, does it even make sense to keep doing the right thing? Because it looks like the people who are scandalous, the people who are evil, like it seems like they're quote unquote winning. Is it even worth it? But those of you who did things the right way, regardless of you seeing other people blowing up all around you and look like their life is taking off, and this is not only from that limelight, right? This can even be in your own personal life. This can be your boss or whatever. That people that you know have took the shortcut, did things the wrong way, but you stood firm, even though you may have been kind of looking side eye, like this ain't even right, but you stood firm and you kept doing the right thing. Don't mean that you're perfect because you ain't that cute, boo, but you did it. You did it the right way. There's going to be a shift. There's going to be a fall, and then there's going to be a shift. So the people you see at the top, whatever the top is, however God brings it to your spirit, who it is, all that stuff, the people at the top is going to fall and then you're going to be shifted up. So one of the worst things you can do right now is to take a shortcut, especially at this time. Keep standing firm, right? Keep your character, keep your integrity, keep doing things the right way. There's a shift that is happening. It's already going on in the spiritual realm, but the natural eyes can't see it. They're too focused on the BET awards and all that nonsense, but you can feel it. There's a shift going on, and it's literally going on right now. It's like it's a transition, almost like two trains that's passing each other by, like on opposite rails, but they're going very, very slow because you know trains are really fast, but these trains are going slow. But two trains going in the opposite direction, really, really slow. One is going down south, one is going up north, honey, and we're going up north, period. So please don't get your hands mixed up right now in any type of bribery, any type of anything that your spirit convicts you not to do. Please don't do it because a lot of people are going to miss their blessings right now. Right now. Three people have missed their blessing in the last, I don't know, 6, 7 months on my end. Meaning these are people that I thought I was going to be able to, God wanted me to help. In fact, God wanted me to help these three people, but he put a pause on it. He's like, no, hold off for a minute. And then things came back and now they missed their whole blessing because of some old foolishness, right? And I'll speak about that. But there's different, well, there's tons of different kind of people, character flaws, etc. But I want to speak right now about there are givers, there are takers, there are empaths, there are narcissists, right? which contradicts each other. You people with good hearts. This can be an empath. This can be a server. This can even be a people pleaser that stimulated from trauma. It is what it is, but you're just naturally a giver, right? You're naturally a server. You're the person who loves to help people. It's just a natural thing for you to do, right? You got that group of people. Then on the flip side, you have a group of people who are takers. These are your narcissists. These are people who may have been in massive amounts of trauma, but it didn't make them a people pleaser. It made them very selfish. It made them very guarded to the point like, I'm never going to ever help anybody. It's just me, me, me. Their own mama can't get a dollar, honey. I mean, like, you know those folks, like they're very set on not helping anybody. Like they will literally just down the window and say something crazy to a homeless person who's asking for a cup of coffee or something, like those people. So, you know, there's two different type of people. You guys with those big, huge hearts, probably the majority of y'all on this channel, right? Definitely not all, because let me just tell you. Let me just tell you, right? They're watching, right? The other side is watching. But those of you with those big, huge hearts, who have a heart to serve, who have a heart to give, who have a heart to just help everybody, there's a good chance that you're constantly taken advantage of. There's a good chance that a lot of people are ungrateful. There's a good chance that the people you help won't even help you, right? God gave me the download to share with you guys yesterday. I got tied up yesterday and didn't get a chance to make the recording, but I did make a note. God gave me a download to give you guys. Stop regretting your heart. Stop regretting your heart. Because what will happen is, even though it's a natural posture for you, it's innate for you to help other people, when you've been burned one too many times, right? You will, if you're not careful, you will get to a place where you feel like, I'm not helping nobody. God, why would you give me this kind of heart to serve? Like, oh, I feel foolish. I feel stupid. It's like people just use me all the time. Da, 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 da. Whatever you're telling yourself, stop regretting your big heart. This download came clear as day. Here's why. Actually, too, that vision came through who was I watching? Because I only watched like 3 shows. I watched Impractical Jokers. I will sit there and watch Impractical Jokers 24 hours and just laugh and cry at the same repeats over and over in Judge Mathis. So it was Judge Mathis. So there was 2 friends, well, ex-friends. There were 2 friends. And one of the ladies had this empathic, serving heart. And the other one was a whole narc, that type of spirit. But the lady with the good heart had took her friend in because she literally she lost her job and lost her home, living on the streets, took this lady in because of her quote unquote big heart. And the friend slept with her, I don't think they were married. I don't know, her boyfriend, her husband or whatever. And these were mature women. They were probably like in their 50s, something like that. And the judge kept, the lady who slept with the man, it was like, she was so heartless. It was just more so less of like, listen, I mean, it happened. I can't take it back. It is what it is. I mean, just very, very unapologetic, even though that wouldn't have make a difference, but right, just very nonchalant. And then the lady, right, the other lady who gave her the place to stay was just like, the judge was like, I don't understand. Like, but you said she'd done something to you in the past. Why would you even allow her to come in your house? And she kept saying, Judge, to be honest with you, I've just been always that way. I just don't have a heart to just hate people. I just have this heart to keep forgiving over and over, no matter how many times people burn me. I just don't know what it is. I don't want to be that way. It's just who I am. And they kept going back and forth. But to make a long story short, it's just like, you see this one person who has this huge heart, and people keeps, I almost said something. People keep just screwing her over and over, over and over, over and over. And then you have the person on the flip side who's just a taker, heartless. Those of you with those big, huge hearts, you are about to be rewarded for everything you've ever had to endure. Every person you've helped and they were ungrateful, every person that you've helped and they lied about something, every person you've helped and they went behind your back and betrayed you, every person you help and they just done something wrong, whatever it may be. And you kept taking these hits and hits and hits and hits. And even though you may have wanted to hate, God just didn't set you're not set up like that. There's something about chosen people where even when somebody have burned you, you can dislike them, but your heart is, you just can't hate. God made your spirit so pure, you just can't hate. Oh, we can dislike you very bad, but there's just not a hate that can develop. We will release you, and we know that God will deal with you, but we ourselves just can't hate you. You are about to be, some of you guys are already here, right? Some of you guys have already experienced this, but more is coming. Increase is coming. So it's almost like God is saying, I don't want you to feel like because you have this big heart and people have betrayed you. I don't want you to feel like that stuff just went in vain and I just ignored it and I'm just going to let you just, no. I saw that stuff. I saw all of it. I took notes. This is why you need to start comparing your life to those type of people. Look at their life. They're always having to come to you. So what does that tell you? You're the blessed one. You're the one with favor, right? That's why they have to always come to you. Look how your life is constantly increasing, but their life is constantly decreasing. You see no fruit in their lives. They have nothing to show for their lives. But you, on the other hand, right? You have fruit, and you have fruit. God keeps blessing you over and over. When they lose, when they take a fall, they stay down. Right? When you take a fall, you don't stay down. You get up. God get you back up quick because he knows your heart. So he has to bless you because he knows your heart posture. If he blesses you, then his will can get done because he's going to bless other people through you. But the people who have these dark narcissist heart and have the mindset that it's just all about them and they're just going to take, these people, how can God bless them? How can God bless them? He can't. That's not how God works. Again, this is why it pisses me off when you have people who feel like God has favors and do. Listen, it's not rocket science. Tap into your purpose. If you tap into your purpose and you're willing to serve in your purpose, God has to bless you. But what happens along the way? People's heart get hardened, right? Because of trauma, because of heartbreak, because of this, because of that. People's heart get hardened and then they pull away from, never mind. That's because that's going to go in another whole area. So please don't get your hand. Those of you who do have those big hearts, but it came from, you still have, okay, so you were born, God just gave you this beautiful spirit, big heart, right? But some of you still have dealt with trauma, right? That can go any which way. That can be molestation, that can be rejection, that can be abandonment of a parent, that can go all over. But either which way, there's still that seed of people pleasing because you want to be accepted. See, you gotta be sure that God conditions you to understand why are you helping people, because a great number of people help from a place of brokenness. It's not that you're helping because you're in purpose and God needs you to help people and you just love to get fulfilled because you help people, right? That's another way how you would know you're in your purpose. When you help people, however it is that God uses you, there's a fulfillment in you that cannot be matched. This is why I always say purpose alone can fulfill you. It's not that you don't, you don't win anybody. It's just that it is what it is. I'm good either way, because purpose alone will fulfill you. God will then, as God continue to increase you, then he will send people. He will send your purpose partner, your kingdom spouse, whatever his will is for your life, because purpose continuously to increase. So you're going to need help. But not from that place of you're yearning from something inside. A person needs to fulfill me. No, they can't. That's not their job. After 6 months and out the honeymoon stage, honey, you don't even like the person no more. How are they going to keep fulfilling you? Purpose fulfills you. So those of you who are servers, this is why when you give and you help people, there's something in you that just takes over. It's the most fulfilling feeling in the world. But you got to be sure that that fulfillment is coming from when you're in alignment with God and who God needs you to help. Because on the toxic side of things, if you're a people pleaser because you're giving and you're not tapped in, you're just giving from that wounded place, right? You're just giving because of, like, if I help this person, if I mind their children 7 days a week while they party, if I just do whatever, if I can't say no to anything, if that's coming from a trauma response, that's not going to fulfill you. That continues to deplete you. And this is why you feel so insecure and a lack of confidence, like because people are pulling from you and you're not even whole yet. God has to make you whole first. God has to fill your cup first through a healing season, and then you can give from a healthy place. This is why you'll notice that when you're giving from an unhealthy place, you have tons of people around you. Your phone rings all day long. Can't get rid of people. But once you get to a healthy place and God teaches you boundaries and he shows you that seed that you're operating from, he'll tell you, like, okay, no, wait a minute. You have this great heart. I made you this way. I need you to be empathetic because this is how I'm going to use you in your purpose. You have to feel through people I will call you to help. So I made this heart. I made your spirit pure for this very reason. But you're taking it, of course, not intentionally, you're taking it and it's moving in the wrong direction. You're helping people from a trauma response. And this is why these people are abusing, and burning you. And now you're getting burnt out. And now you want to put this guard up about, I'm not helping anybody else. But that's not how I made you to help people. You're just helping the wrong people. So don't regret your heart. Don't regret your heart. Just stay tapped in. Please don't regret your heart. Any of you who have already built up this wall of a facade, first of all, that ain't even you anyway. So even though you got this big guard about, I'm not helping nobody, that's not even you. That's not even you. This is why when that's not even you. But most importantly, you're going to miss your destiny because that's not you. Whoever hurt you, right? You got to release that thing, forgive that person, let them go. Because listen, I promise you, if y'all just you guys know, you're tapped in. When you mess around and screw over a person who God uses in purpose, and God allow that person as a vessel to give you some type of chance or opportunity, and you mess that up, God will mess around and throw you in the dry season for a whole 5 years. God will mess around. You can try one thing and God will mess around and throw you in a dry season for 5. And now you want to scream, it's a demonic attack. No, it's your actions. No, you tried the wrong one. You reap what you sow. So you can think you're doing something. Child, I don't know who this is for, but let me just tell you. Don't regret your heart. God, this is the time where those of you who've already been blessed, right? You're about to get increased even more. Those of you who've been just waiting and it seems like you're just doing the right thing and God, expect to be elevated. Expect to be increased. Expect to get that promotion over your boss's head, right? Just expect it, because that's where we are now. Okay. So there were 3 people in particular who I felt a spiritual nudge to help. I don't always know right then and there how or whatever. It's just a spiritual nudge. Some of you tap in and listen to this very carefully, because I've had a couple of you who emailed me in general and say you're struggling very badly with being an empath, but trying to discern the difference if you're helping from a place of empathy, right? Or like a spiritual prompting of empathy, meaning God wants you to help the person, versus your own empathy. Because remember, as an empath, you feel everything. So if a person is sad, you feel sad. If a person is angry, you feel like you're carrying their emotion. So if a person is around you, especially if these are people like in your inner circle, your even in your own home. So they're carrying something that's sad and all that stuff. The first thing you want to do is you want to fix the problem, because if you fix the problem and then they're no longer sad, now you're not sad, so you're not carrying it. So people who are not an empath, they don't understand it. They think you're insane. Why would you want to keep helping her? Because you're feeling that person's emotions when no one else can feel it. You can have 100 people in the room. You have one person in that room who's extremely sad. They're going through some stuff. Everybody else, the other 99 people, are just enjoying themselves and no care in the world. And you're the one in the room trying to enjoy yourself, but you can't, because you're carrying that heaviness. You're carrying that sadness. And you need to figure out what is it? Tell me what's going on with you. And then the person's like, oh, nothing, I'm great. No, you're not. I'm carrying this energy. What do you need so I can fix it? Because I don't want to carry this. I want to enjoy the whatever we got going on in this event. I want to enjoy myself. So tell me what it is so I can fix it, so I don't have to feel it. So you see why you have to be very, very careful and tap in, so God can help you to discern the difference between, because see, as an empath, you will mess around and you start helping people that God don't even want you to help. With some people, God have to get them on their face to really get their attention. And here you are playing Captain Save a Day or whatever, right? You're Superman. So you're not even allowing God time to really work on this person. For some of you, your own children, you keep, and I know, I get it. Kids, you don't have children, you don't understand. I get it. Trust me. I have 1,000 kids, right? I haven't birthed any, but trust me, I have 1,000 kids. I get it. I get it. It's hard to let people just fall, even though you know that's what has to happen in order for God to really, it's hard, right? Sometimes God will have a person in the dry season because they done did something crazy on the other side of things you don't even know about. So he needs them to be in this dry season to get their lesson, but you're still saving them. So the difference, once God and child, listen, this took a whole a whole season of a season for God to really teach me this, right? Because I'm telling you, only another empath will understand how deep this thing is. But hopefully this can help a few of you who email me. Okay, so we all hear from God differently, right? Some of you guys is reading your word, etc., etc. For me, again, there's just a spiritual nudge. I know it when I know it when I know it. It's a pinging in your spirit that, you can't even explain it unless the other person gets spiritual promptings, spiritual sensitivities, things like that. Reading the word for me gives me confirmation, not revelation. The spiritual nudges is the revelation of something. God will literally download something in my spirit. So when I end up reading the word or reading something on social media, it's always a confirmation of what already came in my spirit. So there's always some type of nudging for me. Whatever it is for you, are you. The point of the matter is, you know or felt like you've heard from God. Here's what I would encourage you to do where God has me now, because what I used to do is when I feel a nudge, I act instantly. Now I got to be honest, 90% of the time I was on it, I was right, but then 10% I missed. 10% was my own empathy. And got burned in the process of the 10%. Not bad, but burned enough. But never enough to say I'm just never going to, no, because the majority of the times I'm on it. But also keep in mind, I've always been blessed with the gift of discernment too. So pray for discernment. But be still. When you feel that nudge, I don't care if somebody called you, I don't care if you saw somebody on the side of the street, be still. Get connected. Don't agree to anything. Just say, hey, can I call you back to speak about? Don't agree. Get connected. When you get connected, God may give you an instant yay or nay, or he may say, pause. How long do I pause? You pause until you hear back from him. It doesn't matter who's calling you. It doesn't matter whose timeline, and it doesn't matter. If you haven't heard back from God, you can't move. Now, this is a process. Well, for me, it was, right? You can't move. Throughout that process of stillness, God is going to reveal some things to you. He's going to reveal clarity through peace to say, yay, you got the green light. That's me. If there's any disturbance in your spirit, I'm not speaking about trauma triggers where you feel like, well, this person may be trying to use me because my ex-wife used me. I'm not speaking anything about your flesh and your trauma responses. I'm speaking about making sure you're connected for your spirit can be settled. Not your flesh, not your emotions. If your spirit is settled, if there's a peace in your spirit about it, then most likely it's a green light. I said most likely because I'm not God, right? Most likely there's a green light. Even within that pause, when your spirit is not settled, God may also reveal to you, for the 3 he did with me, he will reveal to you why he told you no. That can look like he's trying to teach a person a lesson. That can look like the person trying to manipulate you. He will reveal it to you. Once he reveals it to you, he's going to tell you. Release it. I don't even care if you want to go through and release it. Because see, they're not playing with you now. They're playing with me. Because remember, your gifts, whatever God has blessed you with, that's God. That's God. That's not yours. That's God's stuff. So they're not trying. This is why people don't understand how deep this thing is. You keep thinking you're getting over on people. You're playing with God. When the person is a vessel, you're playing with God. Okay, so one person in particular lied and told me it was their birthday, right? So typically I don't know, send a card or something like that, whatever. But I felt this prompting not to. And I was like, well, God, the person's birthday is tomorrow. I mean, their birthday is tomorrow. I need to send it today, right? You're not going to send anything. So make a long story short, I kept getting the person name misspelled. So I said, can you send me a copy of your license so I can see the name? Crop out the information on your license and just send me your name because I want to double check because for some reason X, Y, and Z. Well, the person ended up sending me a screenshot of their entire license. Now, I could have just looked at the name and wrote the name down, but I mean, of course, God is God, right? Boom, look at this birth date, 7 months off. So I responded back. I said, today is not your birthday. Then, of course, some whole crazy shenanigans of wrong license. Listen, here's the thing. Not only was I going to bless you with a birthday seed, there was something else that God had prompted me in my spirit. I didn't tell you this because I didn't have the okay. But you just mess around and not just miss your birthday. You just missed something that could potentially have helped you with something else you're working on. However, I forgive you. God bless you. Block. Now, all this happened over a period of 7 months. This is not something like back to back, back to back. Second scenario was somebody who I know for a fact God wanted me to help, and I did. I did. But then the person is almost like was ungrateful to God, almost as if, well, God, what's next? What's next? What's next? Listen, if God has helped you in any way, I don't care if God have you've been hungry and God came and dropped an orange and a banana on your front porch from your next door neighbor. You might want steak that night. You better praise God for that orange and that banana, honey. You better shout for that orange and that banana, honey, because he could have let you go hungry. But ungrateful people will always miss their blessing. So I tried to ignore the comment about it because I'm thinking to myself, people, how in the world? You just told me how God used somebody to bless you several months ago, and like you're not even singing on that. You're singing on what's next, what's next, what's next. But God, so God showed me a spirit of ingratitude and ungratefulness. So I sent this person a message. I said, listen, take this how you want to take it. I just got to give it to you, right? But months ago, I felt like God wanted me to help you with something. But God gave me a pause. And throughout this process of this pause, God showed me a spirit of ungratefulness. And it has, I mean, I'm a grateful person, but we all are different. So I'm not judging you or side-eyeing you because you're ungrateful. I'm just telling you that God told me to tell you because you have a spirit of ungratefulness, he's not going to use me again to help you in this area. You can get mad at me all you want. I really don't care because it ain't me, right? I promise you, it ain't me. But I'm just letting you know you block a blessing because of your ungratefulness. And actually, the person received it like really well. I was surprised because it was me. I'm like, girl, honey, I would have side-eyed you and give it to you, right? If it was me, somebody called telling me that, right? But the person took it well. So I guess God convicted their spirit. I don't even know. But I know he told me I can't help. So maybe, I don't know. He got to deal with them however he deals with them. Lastly, I had a quote unquote single parent who made me think like she wanted to do something for her and her children. Well, of course. I mean, come on now, right? God needs you to, first of all, we all need help, period. Got hit with another? Nope. Sit on it. Okay. Throughout the process of waiting, it was not about this single parent and her kids solely. It was also about this trifling man who obviously can't hold a job or hold his family down, I don't even know, also is up in the mix. So, of course, we know it's more easy for people to ask for guidance or help when it's just a single parent, because people are more sympathetic to that. But who in the world is going to help somebody with a trifling man, right? But people aren't going to tell you that because who's going to help somebody when you got a whole trifling man? If any of you are listening and you got a trifling man, and you know what, I'm not speaking about a bad season, a whole trifling man, stop calling people and asking people for help. That is disrespectful to the people who you're even asking. If you got a whole dusty grown man that you choose to take care of. God says you're not helping one bit. And I'm like, but Lord, I don't care what you agreed to. You're not helping one bit. So a lie, right? Even if it was an omission of a thing, you know what you're doing. A lie can cause you to miss a whole destiny. You got to be careful. You don't have to be perfect, right? Because we all are flawed. Say what you want to say, my perfect, religious, holy, churchy folks, right? We all are flawed. But if your heart is pure, your spirit is pure, and you're willing to serve in the area that God calls you, God has to bless you. He needs to bless you. He will clean up all that other stuff along the way. Stop letting people try to make you think that, you got to do this. You can't do this, girl. Goodbye. I'm not worrying about none of that. You want to see these legs, period. Period. But I wanted to share that. So again, those of you who've been doing the right thing for a very, very long time, know that God is either about to increase you further, or those of you who've been waiting and kind of stuck in the dry season, but I feel like people was getting ahead of you. You were doing things right. Listen, increase is here, honey. Oh, the shift is here. Let me just tell you, the shift is here. Those of you with these ungrateful hearts, manipulating spirits, lying tongues, you done block your whole blessing. Don't get mad with people. That's a God thing. Those of you with these big hearts, who you let ungrateful people harden your heart, please ask God to help you with that, because you are locking up your own blessings. Help God to see. You got to get yourself to a point where your heart is guarded, to the point where people can't even, because people are just going to be peopling, right? Get yourself to the posture that you expect people to be people. Your blessings don't come back from people. Your blessings come back from God. So this is why a lot of the times when you are a server, in whatever way, this can be finances, this can be serving the homeless, this can be, because everything is not about money. Everything is not about, we all have just different gifts. So however it is that God is using you to serve, remember, you reap what you sow, and it doesn't come back in the way that you give it. So you may bless somebody in the form of serving the homeless, and you're not doing it because it's cute for Instagram. It's truly what you love to do within your heart. So you're serving people just to serve. God opens up a door that's a relationship that can change your life forever, right? So make sure that you ask God to help you to cleanse your heart from any iniquities of people because most children people, I mean, you get stumped on all the time, all day, every day. So, you got to be careful. You got to guard your heart. You got to understand. Stop side-eyeing people. Well, you can side-eye them, right? But don't hold on to that offense where it takes root. Like, let the offense happen. Feel it. Release it. But learn from it. You can't come to me again, right? Release it. But watch God brings some type of open door to you, some type of something, a job, something. So when you start living like that, when you start realizing that your blessing comes back from God and not people, then it will help you to understand how this thing goes. And you're human, so it's not to say that it won't hurt and doesn't sting. Like, why can't everybody just have a good heart? Because you're rare. Everybody don't have a great heart. In fact, 90% don't. You're just in a very small percentage of people. And until you understand that your heart is going to keep getting stumped on, you're going to keep trying to understand people. Well, I just don't understand people. I've been beat down and since I've been a child and now I'm 74 and people are still taking advantage of me every single day. It's because you're allowing that. You're allowing it. Put some boundaries up and see how much your phone stops ringing. I challenge you today. If it's something you don't want to do, don't do it. If somebody calls you, ask yourself, what seed am I operating from? Does God really want me to help? Of course, God wants us to help people. There's no, does God want me to help? Or is this a trauma response? Am I feeling the fulfillment because I'm moving in spirit? Or am I moving from a wounded seed and feeling depleted and used and abused each time I do it? It's your girl.